so this next solo is our final solo of the three. And it was by far the most improvised and therefore the most difficult for me to kind of go back and remember. Now, just know that the tab will be accurate because I'm going to, after I've finished filming this, I'm going to tab out the solos. But I'm just kind of playing this from memory. Again, you know, a lot of kind of call and response in there, a lot of kind of repetition. Some of the licks you'll find are quite similar to the previous solos, but because they're over a different groove, they're kind of reframed in a different context, and that will be good practice for you to kind of reuse ideas. You know, so many of our favorite guitarists have a lot of kind of signature licks and signature phrases that sound different when played over a different groove or played, you know, kind of starting on a different beat. So before we kind of look into this solo, before we look at it, again, it's all kind of based over a static G7 chord, you know, which gives us the kind of blues tonality, blues kind of Mixolydian type thing, if you like. But this is a kind of funk groove at 105 BPM. So over our backing track, we're playing this kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4 and 1 and it's just repeating that. Now that's a kind of, it's an interesting rhythm because again it's not starting on the 1. There's a 1 and 2. It actually kind of starts on the 2, but we're implying a G7 chord, or we're outlining a G7 chord with a riff. We're outlining a G7 chord with a riff. 1 using double stops. So the first part, we're playing the major third, the major third and the fifth to the root, but we kind of slide into that. So you want to kind of, you want to play 4 on the G and 3 on the B string, but slide in from 1 fret below, a kind of grace note slide to the root note to 5 on the G, on the D, sorry. So 1 and then that's a kind of very typical, you know, blues double stop. That's a partial bar there on the 5th fret on the G and the B strings. And then we go back to this double stop again, sliding up from 1 fret below. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and. And then we play, in the previous solo, we looked at guide tones being the 3rd and the 7th of the chord. You can imply the tonality of a dominant 7th chord without the root note, providing the bass player's, you know, kind of holding it down and doing their job properly. And without the 5th, you know, we just need the 3rd, major 3rd and the 7th. In this case, the major 3rd being on the 4th fret on the G string and the flat 7 being on the 6th fret on the B string. And again, we can slide in from 1 fret below there to kind of make it funky. So 3, 4, 1 and 4 and 1 and. So that's what I'm soloing over. And again, the solo comes in, it doesn't come in all guns blazing, plenty of space in there. We're not starting on the 1, we're going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's we're starting with a kind of pre-bend, which is on the 8th fret on the high E, and then you pull off to 6, and then back to 8 on the high E, and then we're kind of doing that Albert King thing, where you take the 7th fret and you bend up a half step. So you kind of bend into the 4th, but you tease it ever so slightly sharp because that's what Albert King did, and it, you know, it shouldn't work, but it does work. To kind of overbend it a little bit, we get this kind of sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and. you know, it's got a little bit of a cheekiness to it. And then we do it again, but it's syncopated. It's a displaced rhythm. If you go back and listen to the solo, which I suggest, you know, of all of these solos, any solo that you're learning, listen to it a whole load of times before tackling it. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense in context, or out of context, should I say? So 3, 4, 1, and then so typical pentatonic lick there. It's just to top it off. So that's 6 on the high E, 8 pull off to 6 on the B string, and then that's 6 on the high E to 8 on the B again, and then we pull off to 6 on the B, which is the flat 7. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and listen to the original for timing. And then we go play that lick again, but again it's displaced slightly. It's on a slightly different beat of the bar. So we get this. We get a lot of repetition there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 4, and. Yeah. Then there's a kind of Stevie Ray type kind of gliss. He would often do this. If you check out my course, Blues the Next Level, I've got a lot of kind of blues slur licks in there, you know, kind of Texas blues slurry licks, and you know, this is something I like to do a lot. So we're starting on 7 on the G. We're kind of doing an almost immediate grace note slide down to 5, and then pull off to 3, and back to 5 on the G. And then we pick up that double stop that we had in the rhythm part. So that's 4 on the G and 3 on the B string. Slide into it from 1 fret below. So again, you know, you get a kind of theme. You're building a theme with a phrasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and. So the next part of the solo, we keep the same rhythm as before, but we're playing different notes. We do this, 3, 4, and 1, and. So that's, again, you know, a kind of pre-bend. But this time it's kind of more in the kind of BB box, a G BB box, kind of slightly more of a major pentatonic flavour. We start, we're kind of pre-bending on the 10th fret on the B string, bend that up a whole step, and then you kind of release the bend and pull off to 8 on the B, and then hit 9 on the G, and then we take the minor third and we bend that up a whole step on the B string on the 11th fret, and then we do that again. Again, rhythmic displacement, you know, refer to the recording for the actual placement of the rhythm. And then we kind of do this cheeky little chromatic thing where we're going on the high E, 8, 9, 10, and then that's 10 on the B string to 8. And I think I kind of did a hammer on from nowhere onto 9 on the G. That's the 6th. And then I may not have, just listened to the original. Knowing me, I probably would have had I had time. So we got that. Then And then we play a kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan style lick that we had in a similar solo, but it's in a different context now, so it's going to sound different. That was it. Well, this part is a Stevie Ray. Something that he did very, very frequently, straight out of Texas Flood. But again, we're playing it over a different groove, so it's not going to sound like that. But hopefully you get a bit of that Texas blues flavour. We do this, we bend up a whole step on the 7th fret on the G. And then we do this partial bar on the 3rd fret between the B and the high E. So 3 B, 3 high E, and then that's 6 on the B string to 3 on the high E. So we've got, and then we're playing 7 on the high E, and then that's 3. So that's 3 hammer to 4, pull off to 3 on the high E. That note there is a flat 9 or a flat 2, you know, which isn't in the scale. It's a passing tone, but it's something that Stevie did a lot. And then we play, so that's 6 on the B string, 3 on the high E, and then 6 pull off to 3 on the B string. This double stop, this is that kind of Chuck Berry thing. We had this in a previous solo. You take the 6th and the flat 3. Those are the intervallic functions, but the actual fret numbers are 5 on the B string and 6 on the high E. And you tease them slightly sharp. And then we get that partial bar again, 3 on the high E, 3 on the B. And then we do a grace note slide from 6 to 8, a flat 7 to the root note on the B string. And then this kind of slippery stuff. So that's 6 on the B, a grace note slide from 7 down to 5 on the G string, pull off to 3, back to 5 on the G. And then we go up to 7 on the G, and we kind of we resolve it there because we're landing on a 5th of the chord, so we're landing on a chord tone. So that's the first part of the solo. We've got 3, 4, and 1, and then until I'm not completely kind of au fait with it because you know, it was improvised, so you know, I'm still kind of fidgeting my way around it. It was a kind of lucky take, you know, kind of remembering those phrases.